Twitters, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as always at this time of the day. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Michael still with us here. Just a few more of us just joining us otherwise inside our live trading room. But it has been a snooze fest so far this afternoon, folks. So, hey, myself, I haven't traded anything since like 11 o'clock Eastern, maybe even earlier. Probably one of the least active days, like in the last calendar year, let alone certainly this, start to this year, right? So great to have Michael, Ron, Dan with us here. Had Richard just before, Jith, John, Michael, and all of us just joining us otherwise. So with that said, let's hop right to it here. Sono, I just called out a short earlier, not in it, and just called it out. But for right now, it still looks pretty good, even if it does sneak back above this trend line off the lows. It just kind of snapped under it here. That's what led me to call it out. So good start. Now, this stock in particular, Sono, we actually have some good experience trading off of news, off of earnings. And actually, just from my recollection, I remember us like shorting this stock. It probably was this day back in 2022, if not earlier. But just like off earnings, I recall a short on Sono like years back or maybe just last year. But hey, it's almost like deja vu, right? So liquid order book, tradable, has all the makings for a good stock to follow so far. I'll definitely put this on our list just to begin. Michael got like 11 cents just a moment ago, one of our platinum students on TPR. Just want to check that one out pretty quick. In and out quick, for a $41 stock. And you could say this about a lot of different more expensive stocks like this. For a $41 stock or so, you'd want to see it make a better move than it has been, since 2 o'clock. Ran up just recently, but then it stalled out. Michael got some money on the short. There we go. So, with that said, at least, probably keep this one on the side list. It's up big. Good spread, all, tradable, but otherwise, let's try and see if there's anything moving just on the way up, on the way down, even better, faster, perhaps. I'm hoping Sono could be a faster short, but what we'll do is really just recap any of the movers that we had from the morning, just going from top to bottom here. Market's been just dead really all day. So looking at the 5-minute chart there, my SPY graph. Now, outside of it just being dead, I mean, hey, you got a couple of these like pop and drops. We are not really trading these, though. The $5 stock on a 15-cent spread. Listen, if you want to go to the casino, there's a casino, I'm sure, right by you. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the place to be if you're trying to roll the dice right now. We're trying to, at least make educated decisions with our money. And for a stock that has that big of a spread, I don't care how much it's up. And if anyone's in, I'm rooting you on. Don't get me wrong. I just say I'm not trading this thing. So we're going to move away from it for right now. SBFM, certainly you could say the same, even though much more liquid. Popped up earlier, completely came back down. So we called that out before on the sharp pullback after the halt. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much game over. Granted, maybe it could run up one more time, but I'm not holding it to that. So, ended up pulling back. We moved on pretty quick, and it only dove off that much lower. So probably say the same thing here on Jaguar, JAGX or JAGX, my dyslexia there. Ended up having a nice pop going into the market open. So from that point, tried to re-break off 110 going into the mid-morning session here. Tried at first, but then again, came back down. Bit of a red flag. You got to get out before it pulls back that much lower. And it had, it's trying to eke back up again, I reckon. But I feel like this already made the majority of its move today. If it ends up making a much sharper pop going into like 315, 330, then perhaps Rich will call it out with you folks just on the audio commentary. I'll be here up until 330. Maybe I get my hands on it if it looks really good. I don't care for like a 5-cent push right now on the stock. It's at the VWAP, at major resistance at $1. So if it really pops as I continue, hey, in that case, let me know. Then I'll come back. I'll see what else is out there. But again, same to be said here. Pola, the stock we did really well on probably earlier than 22, probably back in the pandemic 20. It ended up making this big pop, like more 21. So these energy stocks, I remember, ended up making a big move. Pola, WWR from my recollection. I mean, just doesn't look it given the reverse splits, but this was the same type of move here at the time. There's another one that I forgot off the top of my head. I'm not going to try to remember it, but ended up leading to a pop and drop today, this Pola stock. Unfortunately, it failed to make that cleaner breakout above resistance, the green dashed line at 186. From there, collapsed. So, just like we talk about at least inside our classes, in our free workshop, in Cybergroup each and every Tuesday, Traders Talk, when a stock breaks through a big level, we should be getting a Unfortunately for this one, I was on the way down, but a big move shortly after. You hope for that big move to be up, but once it pops and drops it on the same candle, come on, that's a red flag. So ended up completely diving off. That was the theme of the day today. Ooh, this ORGO stock. I mean, it's still near the highs. I like that. Cheap, good order book. I really like that. Yeah, it definitely makes the cut here so far. ORGO. Interesting. We'll take a look on the daily chart here, historical chart just for right now. I saw a nice bottom back from 20. I don't know. This was like 350-ish. Not too far out the way there. I mean, granted, it's got a ways to go, perhaps over 3 first, but the more it pumps up, perhaps it could run into a historical level roughly around 350, maybe about 5 cents under that, actually, just to be safe. But yeah, that would be a nice level to focus on should it pop. Before that, it seems like we had said $3, right? $3 whole number level. That definitely has proven to be a historical level prior to or more recent, I should say, to 22, 21, like I was showing right here from the end of last year into 23. So it's definitely stuck for right now. I'll keep it on our list in case if this really begins to gain some steam here. Hopefully more buyers step in, breaks above this top here, and keeps going. Eesh, the hell is this? IONM. I mean, there's so many pop and drops today that I don't even recall seeing them all. So, yeah, I don't think I had looked at this until right now. IONM. Eesh, that's tough. MAXN. We keep it going. I mean, this is kind of similar to Mike's TPR, right? It's up big. It's actually up a lot more, perhaps up like 30, 31%, but the spreads are a little bit more wide. Order book is more thin. Yeah, I'll pass on it. No great need to put that on our main list. Porch PRCH. Hey, it's cheap, right? We don't mind inexpensive here, but at the same time, it's like almost too slow. You want something actually like making a convincing move for us to try and take. This could be convincing. MGNI, nice move up for about like 20 cents so far after it broke the highs. Good order book. Let me take a look here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be. Yeah, it looks like back from 21. I thought it was even earlier, but from the beginning of 21, another pop and drop ran all the way up from like 10 to 70. Could have been reverse splits factored in with that move, but otherwise that's 7x. That's a legit 7x move. So, take it for what it's worth. Yeah, I mean, if this can make a fraction of the type of run it made for us back then, that's all we're asking for. So I'll add this too. MGNI. Not bad. Zura, SMRT. I don't know if I kind of skipped over a couple here. Got app, EPLV, bunch of crap here otherwise. I mean, this EVLV doesn't look terrible, reckoning it's still near the highs of the day right now, just topped off under $5. GT was a complete pop and drop at the market open, broke above 15, pulled back under it right away. That's a red flag. And then it only dumped off that much more. So, all right, this NNOX, definitely. I mean, I should have started the meeting off with this stock. We had the Sono trade on the screen to begin, but, we had called out this NNOX just once again today, all throughout the afternoon so far. I actually forgot about this just very briefly, just, as we started this meeting. But, nonetheless, though, still looking pretty strong. Looks like for right now, next major resistance, I would assume to be off 19. It cracked above the peak that we had back from 22 here. So that said, I mean, next major historical, perhaps a little over 21, maybe 21 and up right here. Just beautiful break of support. So I would definitely be led to believe the more this pushes up, then should it hit that 21, then that should be a strong top to focus on. So you know what? I'll add this on our list as a day trade. We're not looking for it to hit 21 today. You got to work off 19 first, and then from there see if it can get higher. But that could be something to watch over time for tomorrow or for next week even. All right, so that's just about it from the gainer side. Once again, folks, market has gone nowhere today. I mean, I reckon right now the SPY's eking up a tiny amount, but that doesn't mean like we're going to see really strong action all the way through. So if there is anything else looking good, folks, anything else that I missed on the way up, type it in the chat board here. Let me know. This IBRX we had on our list here going into the open. In pre-market, it was a dud, down 50+%. You're looking for a dead cat bounce, and hey, it popped up at first at the time. Let me show that actually here if I could. I mean, pre-market, you could even say, but more after the market had opened up, it dove off, and then it had popped up really well. Broke above big support that we had from pre-market at 275. It broke under it, it held under it, and then it broke back above it. So that was your nice move heading into 10 o'clock. But hey, when the volume dies off on a short squeeze like this, or dead cat bounce, you can call it, well, this is going to completely plummet. No surprise at that. If this was easy to borrow, this would have been an easy short to take. But for right now, though, it's hard to borrow from me. If you could short it, I feel like we're getting a little close to the ground floor. But yeah, same here on this one. Sono, again, ooh, it's back to my trend line. All right, so we talked about that. We said, hey, even if it moves back up to the trend line here, let it go over and under, and then it'll collapse back down, hopefully. So, I'm going to look to see if I could jump in on this trade as soon as we finish this meeting up or shortly after. Weight Watchers. Hey, this is down big today, down about 18.5%. It is easy to borrow on TradeStation. Double check on your platform if you're not on TS, but Weight Watchers at the lows. You have an iceberg there. Well, not really an iceberg, but larger order out there on the bid at 675. Then there's one also similar size at 661. I would assume 650 to be the major support to watch there, just on the bid. Yeah, I'll put Weight Watchers too. I'll make the list. CPRX, just to wrap up, BE Bloom Energy here. Riot down big. I know that Mara got hit with the subpoena by the SEC. That was overnight. Saw that in the early hours this morning, but I was wondering at first on this. I was like, why the hell is this not dropping off much faster than it was? I mean, even in pre-market here, it should have been down way more, I thought. I didn't short this, but nonetheless, it even stumbled off a little bit at the open, not a whole lot. And then just heading into the mid-morning, 10:30, 11 o'clock, that's your move, your drop off from there. Hey, maybe if you could do an options play on it, maybe buy puts on it, perhaps heading into the close or heading into tomorrow for an expiration date. But otherwise, I'm going to pass on it. Maybe Coinbase if it's shortable. Nah, it's holding 62 nicely, it seems. All right, hey, let me know if there's anything else looking good, folks. Up, down, left, right, more than 5%. We basically kind of went through them all on the gainers and losers here. Got Mike saying JD reports today on a gap higher now. Yeah, tradable stock, definitely tradable. Like the others, TPR, the MAXN, tradable. And if they report earnings going into the close today, then tomorrow we'll follow them. I believe perhaps they reported this morning, Mike. Maybe they were reported, because this is big activity in pre-market here. I would assume they already reported. Hey, in that case, maybe it could be a good stock to follow. I'll put it on like the side list for right now. That's all. All right, so hey, let me know if there's anything else. Hey, I'm open ears, folks. If there's anything else that looks similar or better, then type it in. I'll take a look. Check out like airlines and cruise lines, and not seeing much anywhere there. Same to be said on CCL. Mike saying CVNA. It's hard to borrow for me, but if you're thinking as a short and if it's easy to borrow for you, then I would definitely focus on that as a potential short, just given the pattern. It's at the lows, it's liquid. I'll put it on our list for anyone that can look to short it. Hard to borrow for me. Maybe you could request shares from TradeStation. I'll try and do that after we finish up this meeting. Well, I'll tell you, even with the pop in the market right now on the SPY, I just checked out the airlines and cruise lines at least. Really saw nothing happening there. GM, we'll take a look at Shop. We'll take a look at Tesla. There we go. TSLA on up right now. AMD, I was trading at the open. I caught a pretty decent short, but I got to say it was kind of like good fortune on the drop at the time. It wasn't going anywhere at first. AMD spiking back up a small bit, I believe, here, but otherwise, unless if there's anything like red at the highs, then I think that we'll call it. Check out Benzinga Pro here lastly. Maybe expand my price column here. The NNOX we got already. all these are going to be like low float, low volume stocks I'm not really interested in. Beyond Meat's down big today. I didn't see that. Down 17%. All right, let me take a look at Beyond Meat. Wow, that's a really nice move. Steady afternoon drop. Big support I'd assume to be off of 10. Now, let me take a look. Is this all-time lows? I remember we traded this off its IPO. That was fun back in 19. Yeah, wow, all-time low. So I wouldn't really, hold a lot of weight to that $10 price as big support just yet with all-time lows. This might look to break a little lower first and then go. Just treat it delicately, but really dropping off pretty nicely. Again, it's hard to borrow from me on TradeStation, but if you're on TAS, IB, Fidelity, etc., definitely a good short for you. I'll put this on our list also. All right, so going once, going twice, folks, going thrice. I think that we're going to wrap up for right now. Again, I got to fix the lighting here in my home office, so hopefully by Monday I'll be good to go there. But nevertheless, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, I always like to post my email here at the end of these streams. I appreciate you folks joining us each and every day, each and every afternoon. If you have any questions or trades, feel free to shoot me a quick email. josh@cttrading.com is the email. If you're interested in joining us, though, inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below, just on the stream right there to get yourself set up and started. Yep, I believe that we're all set, folks. So, hey, in total, we got 2, 4, 6, 7 stocks to work with. Let me, I guess, lastly, before I wrap up, I like talking a lot here. Let's go right back to TPR. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look on the MAXN lastly. Nah, they're not looking too good, folks. So I like what we got for right now, folks. All right, so we'll call it. Hey, if you're interested in joining us here, just go right down to the link on the green banner below. But for Michael later, Ron, Dan, and Richard, and all of us here joining us live, Rich will be on the mic taking you into the close from 3 to 4 o'clock. I'll be just lingering in the chat board up until likely 3:30. I'll talk to you soon, folks. Take care.